right, welcome to our next interview with the researchers. I'm Frank Griffiths, this is Travis Webb, and we are interviewing renowned social champion Katie McPherson. She's something of a celebrity here in Arizona. She's been on this platform for a long time, teaching parents and teens about social media.
And I think that whole comparison piece where kids are constantly scrolling, I mean, all of these platforms speak to the underdeveloped brain. I'm not enough, I'm not enough, I'm not enough. I'm not skinny enough, I didn't go on that vacation, I didn't get that award, I didn't get to eat that awesome food, whatever it is. Yeah. I mean, the whole platform is you're not enough.
FOMO, right?
Yeah, and so really for me, like my new movement is really take back childhood, like get them off of these devices, out in the neighborhoods playing, moving those bodies, getting those brains to develop through true dopamine, that bonding and friendship and getting that from human connection.
Yeah. So what do you say to your 12-year-old? And she's like, Mom, everybody has a smartphone. How come I can't have one?
Well, I have been really lucky. She goes to all my presentations, so she's like, I know I'm never going to get it,
She's educated.
So she's really educated about it, and she sees the value so far, but I know it's coming. It's definitely coming, but I think it goes back to what we do in all of our prevention work is the rule of 5. 5 years ahead of when your kid's going to be exposed to something, a cell phone, drugs and alcohol, human trafficking, vaping, whatever it is, we need to be having those conversations up front and not when they're 14. It's way too late.
Too late, yeah. I had a similar success story. I was talking about it a little bit off camera before we turned on the cameras. I've got a 16-year-old who just got her first smartphone. And she earned the money herself, and she pays for her plan. It's our plan, it's our family plan, but she has an investment in it. She's got ownership in it, and also she's demonstrated years of consistent transparency with us, and just that was a criteria. Before you can have a smartphone, we have to trust you. So what's a good age for a kid to get a smartphone?
Oh my gosh, you went there, didn't you? You asked the question.
What's the number?
What's the number? These parents want to know.
I shared with you, I used to say, well, it depends on the kid and how mature they are, but I know that these brains aren't developing until 22 to 30. So
no smartphones till you're 30.
Yes, 30. I really think that you have to figure out what's your end game with the phone. Is the phone itself just a phone that texts and calls for safety issue? If my kid's walking home alone and I want them to call and we don't have a landline, there's one purpose for a phone. What is the purpose of the phone? So for me, I don't think I can put an age on that, but we know to be true. Data is overwhelming. They're not ready for access to social media. Yeah. So can you give a phone to an 11-year-old that only calls? You can turn off the texting, you can turn off internet access, you can turn off apps.
Isn't that social suicide to give your kid a flip phone though? I mean, isn't that?
It's kind of coming back though. There's a new rage. It's kind of coming back, but currently in Arizona, yes, I would say most kids are like, oh my gosh.
So what's the alternative to a flip phone?
You can have a smartphone with no access to the internet, no
data.
apps that can only call.
So your kid can look
cool.
Or
can call and text.
And safe, and be safe.
Yep. You can look cool and be safe, if that's your thing.
Yeah. So what's the age? I missed that. Sorry. What was the age?
I don't know. I really don't know. It's such a tough question.
I think that's well answered. That the answer is there isn't an answer. There isn't an age, and parents need to hear this. That if we said 15, we're lying to 93% of you.
Right.
If we said 16, we're lying to 93% of you.
Yeah.
You've got to look at the fact. You got to look at whether or not. First of all, are we dealing with a male or a female brain? Male brain develops a lot slower, and they use those phones. Let's not call them phones. The device, because a phone is
mobile computer.
The all access pass. Whether or not that brain is male or female, and then really back to that piece you shared earlier. What is the family structure? His daughter was ready for a phone because long before she ever got the phone, the family structure, the rules about transparency, those are all in place, way ahead. There's a foundation before we ever before we start building anything. And I think parents need to hear that. Does your kid have a foundation? Is there a transparency agreement with the two of you? And then is it male or is it female? Then start looking at, is my kid ready? But those are pre-qualifiers, I think, right?
I think too there's parental pressure amongst the adult friendship group.
What does that mean? What does that look like?
Moms all the time are like, well, what do I say when all of his friends have a phone and all of the moms in my social group have given their kid a phone and I'm the one holding out? Am I ostracizing him from the social group? Like, parents feel a tremendous amount of pressure with their own adult friends to give access, knowing that their child is not ready.
That's
and
the
then
benefit
they're
of having
calling
no
me,
friends. I don't care
and
about
then they're
that.
calling me and saying, my 9-year-old stumbled on porn. What should I do? And I said, he didn't stumble on porn. You gave him access to something
Porn will find you.
Yeah, porn will find you, you know? So
Yeah, great.
there's an adult pressure there too.
But once again, we're back to that issue of the ownership on the adult. If we just can't emphasize enough that we're not trying to figure out how to get kids to be responsible prior to the adult taking responsibility. The adult has to model it. There has to be a foundation that the adult knows how to drive the Ferrari, knows where the brakes are, knows everything there is to know about the streets that we're going to be driving on. And then I'll sit next to you as you go test drive this thing.